If resurgence could have a smell, it would be cold pizza, solder smoke, and the faint ozone tickle of overtaxed lithium batteries. That mixture hung in the Student Union Ballroom at 2:17 a.m., when most of Lakefield University's spring hackathon participants were either slumped over keyboards or sprinting on caffeine and bravado. Mei Chen, whose bravado usually outran her caffeine, was very much awake. Lines of code covered her laptop screen like strands of multicolored DNA. Heartline, her new AI-driven dating app, was only hours away from its first public demo. If it worked, the project might become her senior year thesis, seed funding, maybe even an internship in San Francisco. If it failed, it would become another half-finished idea her mother would politely call an experiment. The concept was simple. Ditch questionnaires and superficial swipes. Feed an ensemble of natural language models all the text someone produced on campus for forum posts, anonymized essays, club newsletters, the endless river of intra-college chat, and use semantic fingerprinting to find matches. Heartline's tagline was, "Who you are is how you write." The trick was that no one knew they were being matched. Tonight, May would reveal the pairings and invite volunteers to introduce themselves face to face. A terminal window blinked. The model had finished running, and the database filled with green CMLD symbols. The top match for Mei Chen, displayed in bold at the very bottom, was Alex Ramirez. She felt her heart drop and then ricochet off her ribs. Alex was the last person on Earth, while on campus she wanted romantic compatibility with. They'd been rivals since freshman algorithms. When Alex beat May's Dijkstra implementation by the 4 milliseconds and celebrated like he'd won a Nobel, he'd outdebated her in operating systems, edged her out for a prestigious research assistantship, and even scored higher in intramural fencing bouts. Their feud was legendary. Professors used them as proof that competition bred excellence. May rubbed her eyes. She must have seeded a quirk in the vector clustering. Or maybe the dataset was off. She was not, under any statistical measure, interested in someone who quoted Monty Python in every Slack thread. She scrolled. The app had awarded them a compatibility score of 94.7, a figure that translated, in Heartline's rubric, to runaway together potential. Nope. Bug. Definitely bug. She opened the adjacency matrix. The vectors linking her profile and Alex's were dark green, meaning they shared high emotional tone, similar syntactic patterns, and she squinted, identical use of the phrase, computational hooliganism. Had she ever written that? It sounded like her, admittedly, but how did Alex... "Why does your face look like the compiler just talked back to you?" asked Riley, her roommate and de facto UX designer. Riley shuffled over in mismatched bunny slippers, clutching a mug labeled Coffee Loop. May spun the laptop so only she could see the screen. Models spittin' improbable outputs. Bad improbable, or makes you question life choices improbable. May didn't answer. She inhaled, exhaled. The hackathon demo was at noon, less than 10 hours away. Debugging the entire compatibility engine was impossible tonight, but she also couldn't let the app broadcast her supposed 94.7% destiny with Alex freaking Ramirez. Riley peered over anyway, a sixth sense for secrets. Alex? Oh my God, the campus will implode. It's wrong, May said. The training corpus probably pulled in sarcasm without context, or the sentiment analyzer overweighted mutual snark. Maybe, Riley said, one brow cocked. But maybe the machine sees something you don't. May closed the lid like slamming a shutter against storm wind. Or it's hallucinating. Either way, I'm fixing it. Before she could reopen her editor, a shrill air horn pierced the ballroom. Everyone jolted. A student with a rainbow LED mohawk stood on a chair. "Attention, coders," he shouted. "Plot twist challenge. For the next phase, projects must merge with another team. Random pairings start now. Gasps and groans rippled. The hackathon organizers called it the fusion hour. Two halves make a bigger whole, encouraging collaboration. May felt the ghost of a prophecy drop an ice cube down her spine. A big projector flickered at the front of the room, displaying two columns: Team Alpha, Team Beta. Names shuffled like lotto balls. Riley grabbed May's arm. Imagine if you get. May shook her head, but her pulse answered, yes, yes, watch. The shuffle stopped. Team Alpha, Heartline, May Chen and Riley Park, Team Beta. Ghost Chatter. Alex Ramirez Riley squealed. May's vision tunneled. Ghost Chatter was Alex's pet project, a sentiment-aware chat overlay that supposedly discouraged trolling in real time. May had ridiculed it last month, calling it clippy for emotions. Now the universe, or at least the hackathon algorithm, wanted Heartline and Ghost Chatter to integrate. Participants were already crossing the ballroom to meet their new collaborators. May could flee to the vending machines and never return, or she could swallow the weirdness, do the professional thing, and guard her secret compatibility score like nuclear launch codes. She chose option 2, because that's what a future entrepreneur would do, even if her stomach tried to escape through her Arduino-stickered laptop sleeve. Alex approached, hands in hoodie pockets. His dark hair was a windswept nebula, and fatigue ringed his eyes like eyeliner. A half-smirk hovered. Looks like we're stuck together, Chen. Against my will, she replied automatically. He gave a short laugh. You think I orchestrated this? I think the organizers enjoy chaos. She pointed to the LED Mohawk MC, who was now distributing neon merge badges. So, what does Ghost Chatter even do that would pair well with Heartline? Alex tilted his head, studying her. Let's find out. Lead the way. Their teams claimed an unused folding table near a humming vending machine. Riley struck up conversation with Nora, Alex's teammate, leaving May and Alex facing each other like unarmed duelists. 10 minutes passed arranging cables, setting up a shared Git repository, and avoiding eye contact. Finally, Alex spoke. I skimmed your white paper. The language model's interesting. You chained a Roberta fine-tune with a custom MLP sentiment head? May blinked. The technical compliment was unexpected. Yeah. Multilingual layers for code switching. Ghost Chatter? LSTM backbone with transformer-based attention windows. It flags toxic language and inserts empathic prompts. Clippy for emotions, she muttered, then regretted it. She wasn't here to escalate. To her surprise, Alex only grinned. I prefer Sentiment Sentinel. But point taken. The merge challenge suggests an integration. Ghost Chatter could filter toxic matches before Heartline pairs them. That was clever. She hated that it was clever. We'll need a mediation API. I've got a flask skeleton ready. Their eyes met. Mutual hatred flickered, dimmed, warped into what? A puzzle to solve. Rivals did their best work when the scoreboard was on. May inhaled. Fine, let's do it. Time blurred into joint debugging. They spread napkin sketches for API endpoints, ran load tests, tweaked thresholds. Every so often, they exchanged stray details, favorite regex memes, war stories of seg faults. The animosity gradually thinned, replaced by a reluctant synergy. Riley and Nora watched from across the table, trading knowing smirks. At 4:00 May yawned so wide her jaw popped. Alex pushed his laptop away and cracked open 2 cans of Monster. Peace offering? She accepted the fluorescent liquid. I'll die faster but code longer. Circle of life, he hoisted the can, to desperate alliances. They clinked. An hour later, they faced a blocker. Heartline stored user embeddings in a proprietary vector space. Ghost Chatter expected raw text streams. Data format mistranslation caused the integration to mislabel harmless phrases as abusive, torpedoing match score. May's brain was molasses. We need an adapter layer, mapping embedding dimensions back to token probabilities without losing resolution. Alex ran fingers through his hair. Could reverse engineer the positional encodings, but that's messy. She sighed. Idea. Let's just pipeline both into a new joint embedding space. Train a tiny autoencoder to learn the mapping. Ambitious, but with synthetic data we might manage. Great. Generate a corpus? Sure. He paused, flicking eyes to hers. But we'll need seed pairs, real embeddings and their corresponding texts, samples from actual users. The memory of that 94.7% glared like neon behind her eyelids. She couldn't supply her own vectors. Revealing the match would be catastrophic. I'll anonymize, she said quickly. Alex didn't press. They split tasks. May extracted sanitized embeddings. Alex built the autoencoder scaffold. At 6:12 IM, the combined model converged with an acceptable loss. They high-fived, hands stinging. Testing time arrived. Riley and Nora simulated two users are Riley as Quantum Cupcake, Nora as Dogma Deluxe. The chat overlay flagged zero toxicity, and Heartline matched them at a 73.1% roommate friendly. Success. Everyone exhaled collective breath. It works, May said, more awed than triumphant. Not bad for 6 hours, Alex replied, grinning. Riley glanced at a clock. Sunrise run for coffee? She dragged Nora away, leaving the rivals alone again. Silence, but a different kind. May caught Alex's gaze lingering on her, softer than usual. Her heartbeat ramped. She needed fresh air. Walk, she blurted, while the CI pipeline runs, sure. They stepped onto the quad, dawn brushing the horizon with watery pink. Robins chirped at unseen bugs. May stuffed hands into her hoodie, one of her own Heartline prototypes, the heart logo slightly off-center due to a misprint. You look panicky, Alex said gently, not mockingly. I'm sleep-deprived, she countered. You were fine until about an hour ago. What changed? He eyed her curiously. If Ghost Chatter's logs are correct, yes, I'm debugging even while we walk. You spike negative sentiment while anonymizing user pairs. May halted. You're literally analyzing my mood with your software. He rubbed his neck. Force of habit. Sorry, engineer autopilot. She resumed walking. A breeze tossed hair into her eyes. Maybe she should tell him. Not about feelings, there were none obviously, but about the bug. She'd fix the match later, but transparency now could avoid awkwardness if the dataset leaked at demo. Okay, she said. There might be an anomaly in Heartline data quality, a false positive. False positive? Alex repeated. Like a match that shouldn't be? Exactly, he considered. Statistically improbable, but possible. Our combined pipeline should mitigate once deployed. Right? Who's the bad match? She stared ahead at the library's silhouette. This conversation was a serpentine algorithm. Each branch risked infinite loops. It doesn't matter. I could help trace the issue, she sighed. I'll handle it. Alex stopped walking. Chen, do you not trust me? We're literally patching each other's code. I don't trust the universe, she said, facing him. It has a twisted sense of humor. He studied her, eyes narrowing like he'd glimpsed an interesting stack trace. Is the match me? May's throat constricted. That bastard. How did he always deduce things? She looked away. Model error, she muttered. He exhaled a short whistle. Wow. Didn't see that coming. Well, neither did I, she snapped. It's wrong. Alex wasn't smiling. And you're certain? Because the algorithm reads language, not conscious bias. Maybe it caught something underneath. Are you enjoying this? She folded arms. No, he said quietly. I'm trying to figure out if we've both misinterpreted 4 years of rivalry. Birds chirped louder as though urging them on. May's memories flashed. The .4 millisecond victory, debates, fencing bouts. each spar leaving sparks of admiration she'd buried under competitive instinct. She'd always assumed Alex hated her, so she reciprocated. But what if they'd both been coding a different protocol? Handshakes disguised as conflict. She shook her head. Even if the match weren't a bug, it's unprofessional to discuss personal data. End of topic. Alex nodded slowly. Okay, then, professionally, we need to ensure no one gets exposed against their will. Our merge must include privacy safeguards. Relief pricked May's eyes. Agreed. They walked back in silence, more comfortable than before. The remainder of morning passed in final polishing. They integrated end-to-end encryption, implemented an opt-in reveal toggle, and wrote a demo script. At 11:30 a.m., participants filled the auditorium. Teams had 5 minutes each to pitch. Riley nudged May backstage. You look less murdery. Thanks. Alex looks at you like you're a Stack Overflow angel. Riley added, shut up. On stage, May demoed Heartline Plus Ghost Chatter Now, dubbed HeartGuard, while Alex live-coded the Tox Filter overlay. The audience gasped at the fluidity. Toxic chat turned gray and self-moderated, while matches appeared with flick card flair. May triggered the opt-in reveal. 2 volunteer students on stage pressed accept, and their chat blossomed with green hearts. Applause thundered. Q&A time, a judge asked, how do you handle erroneous compatibility matches? May hesitated. Alex stepped in. Or ensemble includes post-match feedback loops. If a user rejects a pairing, the model incorporates that negative label for future learning. Rejection, a concept she'd considered inevitable. They took second place overall, earning $2,000, 0 cents, and 6 months of cloud compute credits. May was thrilled, but also paradoxically disappointed, missing first place by, ironically, 0.3 milliseconds of judged latency. Old habits. The hackathon concluded with mingling over deflated balloons. Alex approached, hands again in pockets. Want to grab real food? May opened her mouth. She was exhausted and smelly and had a backlog of assignments, but something in his eyes tugged. Riley slid beside her. Go, I'll pack your gear. This is ethnographic research. May coughed. Fine, lunch, to discuss code. Obviously, Alex said, smile crooked. They walked to a quiet campus cafe, ordered ramen bowls, and commandeered a corner booth. Steam curled between them. Conversation drifted from bug tales to favorite sci-fi to family stories. May learned Alex built computers with his abuelo when he was 10. Alex learned May once coded a Tamagotchi AI into her graphic calculator. They laughed more than they'd laughed apart in 4 years combined. Something melted inside May, a glacier calving into warm water. Halfway through noodles, Alex cleared his throat. I've been replaying our history, and I realize I might have antagonized you as a way of getting your attention. She raised eyebrows. You think? I was intimidated. You were always 3 steps ahead. Competition felt safer than confession. Her chopsticks paused. Confession? He held her gaze. I liked you, May. I still do. Heat flooded her cheek. She remembered the 94.7. Maybe it wasn't a bug. She set chopsticks down. I don't know what this is yet. Part of me still wants to beat you at everything. He chuckled. Game on. But maybe we pick categories where we both win. Like co-founding a startup, she suggested, half joking. HeartGuard could be that. Silence thickened, but with possibility. May pulled her phone, opened Heartline Dev Mode, tapped the reveal toggle for her profile, and slid it across the table. Alex's phone vibrated. He read the screen, eyebrows climbing, then looked at her. 94.7, huh? Told you it was probably wrong, she whispered. He leaned across ramen steam, voice soft. Let's run more tests. She laughed, tension dissolving. We'll need A/B experiments, peer review, ethics board approval. I'm in if you are. She extended her hand. He took it. their fingers interlaced like two algorithms finally merging after countless failed compile attempts. Outside, the campus clock tower chimed noon. Students bustled, unaware that in a corner cafe, a rivalry had pivoted into partnership. Two coders debugging the messy, glorious program called the human heart, one commit at a time.